morning, this is Dr. John Lamberton. This morning I thought we'd talk very briefly about eye sign and how you evaluate a pigeon using eye sign. There are many good eye sign theories out there and many good explanations of eye sign. I believe that eye sign is one small component of the overall evaluation of a good pigeon. But in evaluating eye sign, first of all, I use an 18 power loop that you can buy from any of the pigeon supply houses. It has two lenses on it. It gives us its 18 power. And the second thing is I think it's best to evaluate eye sign using the bright sunshine. I find on a bright sunshiny day such as today, that's when you can see the eye is at most clearest. There are several things that I look for when I'm evaluating a pigeon's eye. The first is I want to see how the pupil dilates and constricts. So I hold the eye up to the sunshine and look at the pupil and watch the way it dilates and constricts. If you find a pigeon whose pupil constricts very small, generally I have found in the past that this type of pigeon will fly well at the distance. There are several areas of the eye that I look at. Number one, I look at the iris and how clustered it is. Number two, I look at the circle of correlation and how prevalent it is. Number three, I look at the pupil. And number four, I look at the inner muscle. I find that wide circles of correlation and prominent inner muscles usually correlate to a good breeding pigeon. There are a number of pigeons that have an excellent eye sign but are not particularly good breeders. So just because this type of pigeon, a good breeding pigeon, has a wide circle of correlation and a large inner muscle, doesn't mean that it's automatically going to become a good breeder. But I have found that many good breeders do have these qualities of the eye. So may I suggest that you get an 18 power loop, learn to control it in your eye, hold the pigeon's eye up to the sun on a bright, clear day, and look at the different facets of the eye. And then rank your pigeons, your best breeder to your worst breeder, your best racer to your worst racer, and look at the various characteristics that generalize those types of pigeons. I think if you do, you'll find that breeding pigeons have, in general, a certain type of eye structure. I haven't found, though, that this type of eye structure makes a good racer necessarily. Good racers come with all sorts of eyes. So when I'm evaluating eye sign, I seldom do it to evaluate racers, but I do use eye sign to evaluate breeders.